don't want to walk into this season and lose sight of the things that are so good. I'm afraid of not having those.
We got to get the record done, though. I mean, there's
Clock's ticking, so it's not something you can put off. You pretty much have to dig in. And
Mike and Jay lost their dad. Joe has lost his father. Jay's health has been bad. The journey that Kim and I have been on with infertility.
This is the hardest season we've been through as a band. It's not just for one person, it's been across the board.
When the light comes, darkness runs away, and only what lives in the light can stay. When the light comes, nothing left to hide, so come out of the darkness and turn on the light. I throw open the door, I fall to my knees, I lay down my pride, no secrets to keep. The light of your love is shining on me, the goodness of God is setting me free. When the light comes, darkness runs away, and only what lives in the light can stay. When the light comes, nothing left to hide, to come out of the darkness and turn on the light.
Man, it has been a rough season. It's not every season you go through a life and you lose your feet, you know.
we're going in the studio again, starting a brand new record, and we are about to go out on tour again. The last bit of this 20 years has been pretty rough, though, so we're excited for this new part of life.
It's crazy the things that we've gone through. We're not strangers to either side of the highs and lows, from house fires to sicknesses to losses. So man, it feels so good to be able to go to a new season.
I think it's great to get back in the studio. It's like, man, there's so much that's happened. And so therefore that's in the writing and that's in even the sounds.
I think with this new record, we're excited about the songs that are on there. It's going to be a fun experience getting to see how these songs actually minister to people, even through the hard times that we've been through.
The guys travel with their families on the road. Mine does not, and so it makes it bittersweet whenever we start a new tour, because I know there's going to be a big chunk of time that I'm going to be away from the house. On top of that, I produce our records, and I've been so busy, so even my time at home has been trying to focus on working on that, and I'm hoping to find some time or be able to figure out some way to make this happen and still balance family.
kids still asleep?
Yeah.
Cool. Jim's coming over, trying to figure out what the schedule's gonna look like with tour starting, and he's supposed to be telling me dates today. It's probably gonna be worse than I'm thinking it will be, as far as them wanting it sooner than I can do it. I mean, I don't know how
you're gonna do it either with being on the road. It's gonna take every hour that you're home. I don't want you to be stressed.
We've got a lot of prep for. And this is kind of our last season before the baby comes to have any time together. And
The concern that I have is that while everyone else gets to be with their families out on the road, and then they come home and they get to rest, you're not gonna have any of that. I know the toll that being in the studio takes on you when it is under pressure. And with the baby coming, I want you to have rest. I want you to be able to enjoy this. And I just think that I just don't want to walk into this season and lose sight of the things that are so good because we've pushed too hard. This is our last time to experience this, and I want to be able to cherish them, those moments, you know. I'm afraid of not having those. And you being so tired and things that it does to your health, and I wish we had more time.
My wife has a way of helping me bring things to focus sometimes. From a health standpoint, she's right. I've had some chronic health things that I've dealt with, and it seems like every time I get stressed and start stress eating and start not being as careful with the lifestyle of just managing stress. It tends to wear on me pretty quickly, and I think she's right. We don't want to waste it. Don't want to blow the time that we have. I want the family to win, and I want this to be the most important thing.
So Jeremy, going back to our earlier conversations about when this album is going to be due,
Right.
September is the time for this album to come out.
Sure. For the fall tour.
Yeah, for the
Right,
fall
okay.
tour. So I took that to the label to get the production deadline, working backwards.
Right.
And so they gave me the due date for the album is April 12th.
Ouch. Man, we're still on tour. We're on tour that whole time between now and then.
Yeah.
And also, our baby is due April 13th.
The stress on Jeremy, I mean, you can almost read it like a book because he has not only got this album due, which he's trying to make different than anything they've ever done, what I love about Jeremy's production, but he has a baby due on the same day. That's a lot of pressure for anybody, but that's just what it is.
Dude, I don't know how. There's not enough days to make that happen.
And there's not enough you.
Right.
For the number of days and everything that needs to be done.
Man, is there any way to get extra time?
Yeah, I'll certainly go get
without
for it.
delaying the
Right.
release.
April 12th? There's no way this is gonna happen.
I did have one idea to throw out at you was, what if you just didn't play the whole tour? What if we got a sub, you stay home, make the record, and somebody else would finish out this tour? We've never done that to this degree, but
Wow. Staying home from touring. Man, that's interesting. That's not something I've ever done before. Actually, none of us have ever done that before. I don't know. I don't know how the guys are gonna see this. I don't know how this is gonna feel. Plus, man, finding somebody to fill in is not all that easy to do.
Seems like our hands are kind of tied.
Yo, hey, we're getting
man.
rained on.
Hey, y'all come on in.
Hey.
Sorry, I forgot. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, bro. Yo,
Jimbo, I think you've grown an inch at least.
All right. What's going on, dudes? We've been trying to figure some things out. I shared with Jeremy that the production deadline is April the 12th.
We're still on the road during that time. I mean, we're touring between now and then.
Yeah.
Well, then when is the baby come?
The next day, technically. I mean, who knows what the Lord's gonna do with timing? But
Let's put a halt on this conversation. Nobody tells Anna.
yeah, I know, right?
Dude,
I know. We got to get the record done, though.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
There's no.
Well, I threw out an idea to Jeremy that is, what if he came off the road and just stayed home and made the record? You guys get somebody else to sub out for the tour, which we've never really done anything like this before in all this time, but I don't know any other way to do it.
Jeremy is such an integral part of making records, but Jeremy is also such a huge part of playing in Big Daddy Weave. And there have been seasons where somebody will have to take a couple dates off. And so I don't know how this is gonna work.
Man, for Jeremy to come off the road and do this instead, we actually haven't had to do that before.
I mean, obviously, there's mixed emotions there. You know, I think one of the things we've really fought for is unity, and it feels a little ununified to not be out there. But maybe there's a different way to approach unity. You know.
Well, I mean, dude, there's like no. I was gonna say, is there time to think about this? There's like not hardly any time.
The clock's ticking. So it's not something you can put off. You pretty much have to dig in. And
Yeah. Bro, I see it like settling like on your shoulders, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not funny. I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
I want to be excited
dude.
about the record. I want to be excited, but it's kind of like, this just feels heavy.
it's the burden of talent.
Oh gosh.
But we'll dig in. We'll let you guys get to work.
I'll be back in a little bit, but I gotta go do a internet right, and then I'll be right back. So.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll see you guys after a while.
Okay, man.
It seems like every time we're doing an album, it's always something where we're cutting tracks over in this room and setting up a mattress real quick, and we're playing a show that same night, or it's something crazy, you know. But man, this is the first time that Jeremy's gonna actually have to come off the road for a bit and have a fill-in so we can finish by our deadline.
Back in 1998, man, we all met around the University of Mobile. Just a bunch of young knuckleheads in college, didn't know any better, you know?
I don't know, it's in the first weeks that I was on campus, I met Joe who is our keyboard player, sax player. And I remember stopping him after class and being like, dude, I heard you're a really good player. I want to show you some song ideas that we had. And at first it looked like maybe, yeah, well, we're gonna get around to that sometime or whatever. I was like, well, could I show you like right now? I have my guitar like right now, you know? And we stepped over into this practice room.
We've been playing literally together for about 15 minutes, and a girl walked in and said, hey, got a band coming across campus next month. You guys open for them? Like, for real?
We only been together 15 minutes and we already got our first gig. This is gonna be amazing, right? And then they ask us the question that has haunted us every day since then. What do you call your group?
We need a name for the flyer, please. And that's how you end up with a name like Big Daddy Weave.
Big Daddy Weave, you know?
Before we know it, we're playing at a function there on campus, and you know, temporary name of the band just to get through a night, and it ends up being something that we roll with for the next, you know, X amount of years of booking. Like, oh my goodness.
When I met the guys, they had just gotten their record deal. Right from the beginning, they had hits, and there were great songs like In Christ started it all off, and then Audience of One, and then Redeemed, and My Story, and Overwhelmed. There's so many special songs to people. Today, they're one of the biggest touring bands and one of the most loved artists that we have in Christian music.
Man, some of the cool things we get to do night after night, and some of these venues that we get to play, like Carnegie Hall and the Redmon Auditorium, places like that. It's just really cool that God has opened these doors for us to come and minister to people in that kind of way.
We've been really blessed, man. Over these 20 years, we've just seen so many incredible things happen. I mean, Christian radio has really embraced our songs, man, and because of that, we've heard stories from all over the world about how God has used the music. We've played in some places that we've dreamed of. Even just a year ago, playing in Carnegie Hall was just a bucket list thing for me. Seeing these other guys, you know, get married, and seeing these other guys become dads. I mean, we've just been through a lot of life together, man, a lot of really great life together.
None of us like to even really think about all that much because it's kind of awkward. You feel like, oh, I gotta be humble and all this kind of stuff, but it's really cool. It's really cool that we had 5 songs that went #1 in a row, and you know, the success of Redeemed. And
we've had lots of high points. You know, hey, we go out and we see people restored and renewed every night. You know what I mean? Literally, that's our job. Seeing the kingdom advance and watching Jesus come to life in people's eyes while you pray with them never gets old.
What is that? What?
I remember the very first time I showed the guys the song Pursuit. It wasn't even done yet. You know, we were out on the road and we were catching just a few minutes in a music minister's office in Texas. And because we're so up against the clock, like we've got to finish these songs. And so I got to invite Joe and Jeremy into the process of helping finish the song Pursuit. It's kind of, it's weird, but it's like, writing songs has been part of my life since I was kind of my early teenage years. To me, the best songs happen to you. You know, the inspiration happens and you're running for like a pad and a, you know, piece of paper or whatever.
I love this part of the process. I love coming up with new sounds, new ideas, trying to figure out how to make this idea that Mike's bringing to the table into something that's still sounds like Big Daddy Weave, but is new and updated and fresh.
And don't worry about full chords on those if you don't want to. You can just hold on, boom, doom, doom, doom.
When you're there to collaborate, there's just something more organic about it. Here's the initial idea. Let's work out the chord structure. It's like, oh, let's change. What do you think about this idea? You're like, oh, you know, I like that. But then it's like, yeah, something's not quite right here. It's like, well, try this. You know, so that's a lot of fun in that process.
See, and in my mind, there's a double chorus. Like, so I'm thinking like, so the form would be like verse, pre, chorus, second, pre, chorus, chorus. Do, 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 do.
since we moved to Nashville and we've been making records, man, there's so many amazing songwriters in Nashville. And some of those songwriters are also, man, people that I just really resonate with as friends. Benji Cowart is, man, one of my favorite people ever to write songs with. We just kind of finish each other's sentences. Man, it's really easy for us to just kind of share life and to write from that place of life. We wrote a song together a few years ago called Redeemed. And man, the Lord just has brought some of the most incredible stories from that song. And so since that time until now, man, we're still writing songs together. I'm really excited to get to spend some time with Benji writing a special song for this new record. Single-heartedly, it's just like a repeater, you know?
So speak that out. So coming after you single-heartedly.
I am in pursuit, coming after you. There's some lyrics we had in Reading too, and hey, I'm gonna send it to you as we're doing this right here.
How are you sending those lyrics? You just gonna text them?
And if you want, you could actually sing.
I wouldn't mind a shot at it Friday.
Yeah.
Just like to sing an actual one.
So pursue pursuit this week. Okay.
Yeah.
Dudes, I got words.
Oh man, good.
I got Benji, finished it.
Perfect. Perfect. Do you think you can sing a scratch on it? We've been working on the track.
Oh, you're working on it right now?
Yeah. We got to pull it up so we can just jump on it if you want to. You want to sing it? Are you ready?
Yeah.
One more time on the intro.
Yep. One of the things that I always tell Mike or Jim, my manager, whenever or the label, whenever anybody gets nervous, Mike's voice is the constant. As long as he's the one delivering the message, we got some wide bumper rails that we can play around with. So we may have a pop daddy weave or something. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be fun, and just love the process.
The last 6.5 years being with Big Daddy Weave, we've seen a lot. There have been some really hard times over the last couple of years anyway. Mike and Jay lost their dad. Joe has lost his father as well. Of course, Jay's health has been bad, dealing with that. The journey that Kim and I have been on with infertility.
It's not just one person, it's been across the board. Many things going on, and with each one of us that has caused us to really say, man, this is the hardest season we've been through as a band.
I remember getting a call. It was in New York City, and I get a call from Jay, and he says, "Is this serious when your toe falls off?" I'm like, yes. And this was the beginning, Jay, of his getting ill and continued to progress to the point where it nearly killed him.
Well, this has been one of the roughest seasons we've ever been through, for sure. I'd say probably the roughest. We like to fake a lot of things, a lot of times even as believers, but the truth is, man, everybody goes through this stuff and everybody hurts. It's what we do with our hurt that matters.
Man, we're going in this new season, this new tour, this new year. I really think it's going to get better. I really hope it's going to get better.
The best songs, I think, come out of real life. And I think the songs that connect the most are born out of some of the most difficult seasons that we go through in life. All of the songs from this record are born from this place of our experiences in that difficulty. Pursuit is a decision in as much as it is like an emotional response, that after we've been through all these things, we want to come to the place like the disciples said to Jesus when he's like, well, Jesus, are you gonna leave me too now? And they were like, where else would we go? We got nothing else. And I feel like after being so long together in this, that's sort of our response to the Lord too. I mean, we've been through a rough time, but where else would we go? You're all we have, and we're after you. We're still in this after you.
Double intro.
Caught in a romance of desperate devotion. You're higher than mountains, and deeper than with a broken-hearted voice, I'll sing like a song and won't be satisfied with less than what you want.
satisfied with less than what you want from me. No other love will do. I'm burning alive with one pursuit. My heart is an open wound, but Jesus calling for more of you, longing for more of you. No other love will do. I'm burning alive with one pursuit. My heart is an open wound, but Jesus calling for more of you, longing for more of you. I'm in pursuit. I coming after you, coming after you, single-heartedly. I am in pursuit, coming after you, Jesus, after you, Jesus. I am coming after you, single-heartedly. I am in pursuit, coming after you, Jesus, after you, Jesus. No other love will do. I'm burning alive with one pursuit. My heart is an open wound, but Jesus calling for more of you, longing for more of you. No other love will do. I'm burning alive with one pursuit. My heart is an open wound, but Jesus calling for more of you, longing for more of you. I'm in pursuit. I'm in pursuit.
Yeah, that works. It's great.
Sweet.
Hey, dude.
How's it going?
Well, I feel okay. I mean, just trying to figure out, what this season looks like if I'm not hopping out on the road. It's tough because I know that we've been going through the season of trying to figure out what unity looks like.
I just want to encourage Jeremy, because when Jim came and we began to talk about this stuff, I could see the weight of everything that's coming up sort of like land on him, And I feel that weight too, but nowhere near what he does. And so, man, he's the man for this job, and we need to love on him. We need to encourage him through this.
Even on the road, separate paths, and
we
not
drift,
separate paths, but we're isolated.
Yeah.
And with the way that we travel now, and
So I don't know what the answer is yet, but I mean, I just want you to be at rest. No matter what the solution is,
Right.
We're in this with you, and even if you're not there, you are with us. You know what I mean? You're in this. We're in this together, dude.
thanks, man.
But though, nobody could do what you do like you do it, for us. This is what it is because of you doing this, you know what I mean? There's an element of that. Nobody could ever replace that.
Yeah, thanks, man. That helps. That helps just try to navigate the logistics of this. So,
And make a record in like no time.
all while practicing changing diapers soon. I gotta figure that out.
Dude, I know. It's been a minute,
Oh, man, it's been a long time. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited for these new songs, and the Lord's got it. I know he does.
You got it, man.
So,
Right on, bro. Awesome.
thanks, man. Well, I'm gonna finish working on this, and I'll connect with you soon.
Can't wait to hear it. All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Get her done, homie.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That was good to hear. I didn't know how Mike was gonna take that. For us, Mike in a lot of ways steers the ship. He's a natural leader of the band, and we all look for him for, just helping with the vision. And the execution of the calling that we have. And so that really helps, just hearing his support through this. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but I can tell that there's a sense of unity even in trying to figure this out to make it work.
I feel like we're going to see family. The people we're going to see and play in their towns, they are people who have walked with us and they have stood with us.
This will be a time of light, a time of renewal for them.
We're also touring, we're also being husbands and daddies.
To see my kids growing in the Lord while they're on the road, man, that's been so powerful.
I know the toll that being in the studio takes on you.
The clock's ticking. What if you just didn't play the whole tour?
Nobody could do what you do. Nobody could ever replace that.
I just don't want to lose sight of the things that are so good.
We've come through a tumultuous season.
Everyone sees the physical part of this, but they don't see the emotional part of it.
Us being able to have a family, I want that. It's hard when you want something so bad and you feel like God's giving up on you.
I'm sorry for not knowing what to say, dude. I'm sorry not knowing how to be.
Man, it's hard to be intentional with unity when we're not around each other.
What power could come from your platform when you stand in a place of unity? Forgetting what lies behind, we press on, and you're here.